brought flowers to her grave every day, until a stranger left a note. For over 3 years, he came to the same cemetery, the same headstone, with the same bouquet of yellow tulips. Rain, snow, or blistering heat, he never missed a single day. Most walked past him without a word. But one morning, something was different. A single folded note rested against the headstone. What it said would open a door that grief had long kept shut, and it all started with a few kind words from a stranger. James Turner, 78, had been married to Margaret for 52 years. She passed away after a long battle with cancer, leaving a silence in his life that no one else could fill. Every morning, like clockwork, James walked 2 miles to St. Mary's Cemetery in his old brown coat and worn leather shoes. He carried yellow tulips, Margaret's favorite, and a small brush to gently sweep leaves and dust off her headstone. He spoke to her as if she were still there. "Morning, love. You wouldn't believe how grumpy the postman was today," he'd chuckle softly. "And I finally fixed the leaky tap. Took me 2 tries. Some days, he read poetry. Other days, he just sat in silence, lost in the warmth of their memories. To others, he seemed like a fixture of the cemetery. People saw him, even respected him quietly, but no one really knew him. Until someone reached out. On a gray Tuesday morning in early spring, James arrived at Margaret's grave as usual. But this time, something caught his eye. A small plastic bag, taped carefully to the side of the stone. Inside was a neatly folded note. He hesitated. With shaking hands, he opened it and read. "I see you here often. I don't know your story, but it's touched me. You reminded me to start visiting my mom's grave again. Thank you for showing me what love looks like after goodbye." James stood there, stunned. For the first time in years, someone had seen him. Not just passed him, but seen him. He whispered, "You're still bringing people together, Maggie." The next day, James brought more than just flowers. He returned with a small weatherproof notebook, a pen, and a hand-painted sign that read, "Share a memory. Tell someone's story. Let's remember them together." He placed the notebook in a wooden box beside Margaret's grave and wrote the first message. Her name was Margaret. She had a laugh that made the neighbors come out just to hear it. She made the best lemon pie you ever tasted. She was my everything. Within days, others began leaving notes. A teenager wrote about her father, who used to read her bedtime stories in funny voices. A woman in her 40s shared how her sister taught her to ride a bike and still guides her when she's afraid. An elderly war veteran left a message for his fallen best friend, saying, "Still saving you a seat at poker night." The notebook filled quickly. James added a second one, then a third. People began stopping by just to read the stories. The cemetery became more than a place of sorrow. It became a place of shared healing. Soon, a local volunteer installed a bench near Margaret's grave with a small plaque that read, "In memory of all we've loved and all we still carry." James wasn't alone anymore. Not in his grief. Not in his love. What began as a lonely man's ritual had become a quiet movement. One that reminded everyone who visited. Love doesn't end. It just changes form. This story reminds us that sometimes the smallest act, a note, a flower, a memory shared, can mean the world to someone else. If this story moved you, please like, share, and comment with a memory of someone you love. And don't forget to subscribe to Hearthside Stories for more heartwarming tales that celebrate the quiet power of kindness, love, and connection. Because even in silence, love still speaks.